Kerala, the state down south of India, is known as God's own country, even though it's ruled by communists. The state ruled by the communist government is now facing an unprecedented economic crisis. And mind you, these are not my words, but of the state's finance minister, KN Balagopal. Kerala's finance minister made a statement in a recent interview to a news website. The minister of the cpim government had also leveled allegations on the central government that this crisis is due to Kerala not receiving its rightful share from the collected taxes and the cap on borrowing limit to the state. Notably, last year, Kerala filed a suit in the Supreme Court accusing the centre of violating the federal structure of governance. It alleged that the centre had set a net borrowing ceiling on the state, which limits its borrowing from all sources. Now, the Supreme Court has asked the centre to respond by 13 February to the accusations of the Kerala government. So, are the accusations by the Kerala government true? Is the central government curtailing the fiscal freedom of a state? Let's look at the facts. Now, the centre in an earlier response had claimed that it had not curtailed the borrowing limit and that the financial crisis in Kerala is a result of the CPIM government's mismanagement and extravagance. Just in case, let me inform you that all financial transactions between the central and the state governments are carried out under the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act 2003. Historically, the FRBM Act 2003 required states to limit their fiscal deficit to 3% of the GSDP. However, the COVID pandemic and after that the lockdowns required both state and central governments to borrow more. The 15th Finance Commission main report notes that, responding to the demands by the states for an increase in borrowing limit from 3% in 2020 to 21, in view of unusual fiscal pressures, the Government of India stepped up the borrowing limits of states from 3% to 5% for the year. So the government had increased the net borrowing ceiling due to the pandemic. Now, the same 15th Finance Commission report also had some interesting observations for Kerala. The report designated Kerala to be a highly debt-stressed state. Data revealed that Kerala had largely failed to limit its fiscal deficit to 3% of GSDP for almost all of the past decade. The Commission said that the state has been breaching its FRBM targets with unhealthy levels of revenue deficit fiscal deficit ratio. This implicitly explains why the state has resorted to borrowing to finance its revenue deficit. Let me tell you that a high revenue deficit fiscal deficit ratio means that the state government is borrowing not to invest in productive schemes, but to meet its day-to-day expenses such as salaries and pensions. Notably, the opposition leaders in Kerala have also made allegations of bad financial management on the part of the Kerala government. Kerala is also not the only state whose government has leveled allegations against the central government. In last year's December, West Bengal CM Mamata Banerjee had claimed that Central is not paying us the taxes. Amid these turbulent times globally, fiscal management is an art that every government should learn and practice responsibly instead of projecting the blame on others.